is our Nutmeg Notebook's first FaceTime Live. So I hope somebody logs on to watch us today. Happy New Year to you. So excited about the possibilities that are before us for the new year of 2017. I wanted to do the Facebook Live today because I know at the beginning of the year is when a lot of people make a New Year's resolution to get healthy, lose weight, exercise more, whatever it is for you that you want to improve about your lifestyle. So I've been through a big transformation the last few years, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to pass it forward. I've had a lot of good luck health-wise and learned a lot of amazing tips and tricks that have made my life so much better, and I just would like to pass it forward and share it with you. So let me start with saying that in 2010, when I started my blog, Nutmeg Notebook, I was doing Weight Watchers then, and I thought, oh, I was enjoying visiting other people's blogs, and I thought I could do that and share my success with Weight Watchers, which did work pretty good for me for weight loss. I was a yo-yo dieter my entire adult life. Starting when I was 17, I joined Weight Watchers for the first time. I think I had 19 or 20 pounds to lose. And of course, at that time I thought I was obese. But that really started the yo-yo dieting for me. And, kudos to you if you can do Weight Watchers or one of the other diet programs that's out there and maintain your weight loss. That's fabulous because it does work for a lot of people. It just didn't work for me. I always felt deprived. I felt like I was having to use true grit and hold on tight in order to keep my weight off and avoid temptation. And it was just really difficult for me. But I kept going back time and time again to rejoin Weight Watchers to try to lose weight. At my highest, I weighed 174 pounds. I think that was around 2002 when I joined Weight Watchers. And I did get down to like 129, 130, somewhere in there. Maintained it for a couple of years, actually, but then it started to creep back on me. I saw Dr. Furman on the Dr. Oz show, and I also saw him on a PBS special, and the whole concept of a whole food plant-based diet really piqued my interest. But my daughter was having a wedding. She was getting married, and I was having foot surgery, and I thought, this isn't a good time to make a big change like that. So I kind of tucked that whole idea in the back of my mind. And after her wedding, I had my foot surgery, and a few months into my recovery from foot surgery, I don't know if it was a rerun or if Dr. Furman was just on the TV again as a new segment, but he was on and I watched it, and I thought, you know what, this is what I really need to do. At that time, my cholesterol was climbing a bit, even though I was eating what I thought was a really healthy diet, moderate in fats. I was eating mostly ground turkey and chicken and fish, and even so, my cholesterol was going up. And I had a conversation with my primary care physician regarding that, and I said, it's not fair. My husband eats junk food and burgers and fries all the time, and he has really great cholesterol. And he said, Tammy, it's genetics. Your body just happens to be a little cholesterol making machine. And just imagine what it would be like if you weren't doing all the wonderful healthy things that you are. Your cholesterol would be even worse. He said, if it continues to have this trend, then we're going to have to think about putting you on statins. And I said, yeah, I'm not doing that. I know people on statins, and there's a lot of side effects, and I don't want to do that. So that's also why Dr. Furman's program was really appealing to me. So the first book that I bought on whole food plant-based eating was Dr. Furman's Eat to Live, old paperback, and I read it cover to cover and did research online and watched videos and found blogs and websites to read up more about it. And then I got up the nerve to tell my husband, Tom, about a whole food plant-based diet and what it was about, and would he be on board? And that was in 2012, 13. Um, and he said, I'll do whatever you want at home. I'll support you. I'll, eat what you want, but I can't be put into a box. I have to have the ability to still choose to eat other things if that's what I want to eat. I was like, that's great. That's fine. So I started to make that transition, and I did announce that on my blog that I was doing that. And I thought, I'll probably lose a lot of people, a lot of my followers, but some people did still hang in there, and I had great results. My cholesterol dropped. I lost weight because I had gained some weight after being laid up with after my foot surgery. Tom would eat what I would fix at home. He started out eating, sometimes he'd make some kind of meat product to put with the vegetables that I made, but he's doesn't have a real interest in cooking. And so pretty soon he wasn't doing that anymore, because he liked to kind of just come in and sit down at the kitchen table and eat what I would put before him. But he was still continuing to eat animal products and greasy fried foods and whatever his choice was when he was away from home. And that was fine. He was losing weight. He was starting to feel better. And eventually it progressed to the point where he got so he didn't feel good when he was away from home and he ate garbage food. And it would give him lower GI issues. And he thought, wow, okay, this doesn't feel so good. And so then he started eating more plant-based when he was away from home, even if I wasn't with him. It was pretty cute. He was still working then and traveling, and he would go to Whole Foods and get a salad for his evening meal. And he would take a picture of it and send me a picture so that I would know he was eating good and healthy. And then we started watching videos. Forks Over Knives is an excellent documentary to watch. It's available on Netflix if you have Netflix. And that one will really change how you feel about the way that you eat. That food really is medicine, and it can either make you feel well or it can contribute to you not having good health. And that is a turning point for a lot of people, and it certainly was for both of us after watching that. Then we were more determined than ever to keep up a healthy, whole food, plant-based diet. So that first year sailed along beautifully. Everything went really well. We went on a wonderful vacation. We did a lot of hiking, outdoor activities. And when we came back, I started gaining weight. And I was particularly gaining weight around my middle, which I thought, wow, what's happening? Because I haven't changed anything about the way I eat. And I was still exercising the same amount of exercise. And so this went on for probably almost 6 months to a year. And then I had my thyroid checked at my yearly physical and found out that I was hypothyroid, and started taking levothyroxine for that. Started feeling better, started feeling less tired. My hair stopped falling out. My eyebrows have never grown back really, but a lot of the symptoms started to go away, but not the weight. And that was really frustrating. So I really doubled down and was doing Dr. Furman's plan pretty hardcore, and still the weight that I had gained just would not budge. I had become acquainted with Chef AJ on the message board of the Furman website. And so, I knew a little bit about her, had corresponded a little bit back and forth with her. I had found a blog called Healthy Girls Kitchen by Wendy. And Wendy was doing Chef AJ's Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and she was talking about it. And then AJ decided to do a test of an online community for her Ultimate Weight Loss plan instead of her just in-person plan that she does in LA. And so I decided at the very last minute to join that. just to see, because I was feeling hopeless. I was feeling like all the little size 4 clothes that were in my closet, that I was going to need to pull those all out and get rid of them, because I felt like they were in there just taunting me every day, that I could no longer fit back into those. I'm so glad I didn't purge my closet. So I had an email with AJ, or talked to her on Facebook or something, and said, you know, I have hypothyroidism, and I don't know if I'll be able to lose any weight on your program or not. And she revealed to me that she also was hypothyroid, and that she had lost weight even without taking levothyroxine at the time. She was able to lose her weight. And that gave me encouragement. So I jumped in both feet and 100%, and did the program. You can, and I just want you to know that Chef AJ did not ask me to do this video, but I have learned so much from her and John Pierre, her business partner, that I just want to pass it forward. I know what it's like to struggle with your weight, to lose weight, only to gain it back and feel so defeated. So anyway, this is what the video or the DVD looks like that you get. You get 4 CDs from them when you join the program, as well as the private Facebook page for the ultimate weight loss, which is fabulous. And that's probably one of the biggest pieces to this puzzle that makes it so fabulous, because you have built-in support. So if you don't have anyone in your private life that supports you eating this way, you have hundreds of people on the Ultimate Weight Loss Facebook page that will help support you, answer your questions, give you encouragement. So anyway, so I joined the group, and found the whole food plant-based program without salt, oil, or sugar, or flour, to be fantastic. It was like an answer to my prayer. All of the cravings go away. No longer are you thinking about dieting the first thing in the morning when you get up, or the last thing at night when you go to bed. You're no longer taunted by all the thoughts of, you know, I shouldn't have eaten this, or I could have done that, or I should have done this differently. They teach you what foods to eat that are the low calorie density foods, and they are filling and satiating and taste fabulous. And they also help you lose weight because they're low calorie. And so you don't feel deprived. You don't feel like you are having to, you know, hang on tight in order to get through the program. It's really very easy, very doable, and it works like magic. So even being hypothyroid, I was able to lose weight, and I was thrilled. I'm back into my size 4 clothes, and I'm so glad I didn't purge my closet, and it's easy to maintain it. That's the main thing. I was great at losing weight on all the different diets that I went on, but to be able to maintain the weight loss was always the difficult thing for me. That's where I always seemed to fail, because I'd always get sucked back in to wanting to eat all the foods that I used to eat, the highly palatable foods that give you a huge dopamine rush. And then your brain says, oh my gosh, that was so good, let's have more of that. So another thing that I did was I ordered this book, The Pleasure Trap, and read it. And this explains all about what goes on in the brain when you eat highly palatable foods. Some people can eat foods like chips or cookies or cake or whatever in moderation, and they don't feel compelled to go and have more. Some people can have 1 glass of wine and not feel compelled to go have more. And some people can't. And I don't have a problem with alcohol, but I have a problem with highly palatable foods, and I can't eat them in moderation. Sugar, flour, high fat, high salt foods, just I crave them, and then I just want to eat more. So once I learned about the science, then that also helped me to abstain from those foods. And so I was able to lose my weight. I've been maintaining my weight. The past year, I've had an incredibly challenging year, probably actually about a year and a half. It started with, we remodeled our kitchen. We had no kitchen for 6 weeks. This was after I joined UWL. And then my husband had to have hernia surgery. 6 weeks later, I had major surgery myself. I had supposed to be a 6-week recovery. It turned into 12-week recovery. I've been battling extreme sciatic nerve, chronic nerve pain ever since that. I've just been through the ringer this past year. But the wonderful thing is, I did not gain my weight back. In fact, I even lost some weight and have become smaller. That is a miracle, because I've always considered myself to be an emotional eater. And Dr. Lyle, one of the authors of the Pleasure Trap, says that nobody's an emotional eater. We choose drugs to medicate ourselves with, and the foods that we jump to when we think we're emotional eating are actually work like drugs, because they're highly palatable foods that are high in salt, oil, sugar, fat, and they give us a temporary dopamine rush, which makes us feel good, but we're just medicating ourselves with that. I easily could have gained back all of my weight this past year if I hadn't been following a whole food, plant-based diet. But because I was eating such a healthy diet and had such a stable brain chemistry, I was able to continue to make good choices. And I can't say that I didn't overeat it sometimes, because, sometimes I did. But when you overeat on a dish of carrots or a bowl of watermelon, that doesn't do much damage to you weight-wise. So that's why I feel like, it's such a miracle when I look back at everything we've been through this past year, and all of the challenges that I've faced personally. I just feel like it's amazing that I was able to do it and not gain weight. So, and I credit the Ultimate Weight Loss program with teaching me the skills that I needed in order to be able to make it through what's been a very challenging year. So on the Ultimate Weight Loss Facebook page, I did post that I was going to do this, and some people did ask me some questions on there. And Janice said she's interested in any words of advice on how I stopped emotional eating, especially with the chronic pain, which she also suffers from at times. And Janice, I'm so sorry that you also deal with chronic pain. Some of the coping things that I have done are, luckily for me, I've still been able to walk. Walking doesn't increase my sciatic nerve pain. And so I've used that a lot. When the weather was really nice this summer, I would walk between 4 and 6 miles in the morning, because I would get that really big surge of endorphins that would help me feel better. It was also just great to be outside early in the morning in the cool breeze, hear the birds sing, look at nature. That was very calming. It would just make me feel good. Also, I listened to some kind of motivational video or podcast or webinar every day, just for motivation. I love to listen to music. I find music can really calm the soul. And so, you can, if you have a smartphone, you can get Pandora on your smartphone. There's even a free app for that, and listen to music, whatever kind of music you really like, because that can be extremely soothing and calming. Meditation guided meditation. I'm not good about sitting and doing meditation on my own, but guided meditation CDs, I have a few of them loaded onto my iPhone, and I'll listen to those, and I find those to be very calming and soothing as well. And then sometimes, you know, you just want to eat a bowl of something. And so sometimes I would just make myself a big bowl of raw veggies and munch out on those, and sometimes eat a sweet potato or a baked potato, a banana, an apple, something like that. Just anything that's a whole food, plant-based food item is very satiating, and it's very difficult to overeat on them because you're going to feel full. Also drink hot herbal tea, drink a lot of water. That seems to help. Going on the computer, you know, chatting with somebody from the Ultimate Weight Loss group or a friend or anything that's a distraction. Our daughter gave birth to our first grandbaby this past year, Alma Elizabeth, and she is a fantastic distraction for me. I spend a tremendous amount of time with her and my daughter, and playing with her makes me forget about the chronic pain. So I hope some of those are helpful for you. Diane from the UWL board wanted some breakfast ideas because she's afraid that she's going to get tired of her Brussels sprouts, her carrots, her broccoli, and her cauliflower mix. So on the Ultimate Weight Loss program, we do start the day with vegetables. They can either be raw or cooked, because that way you get in, you know, hopefully a pound of vegetables first thing in the day. It curbs the appetite. It seems to do away with cravings. I have to say that probably for the last, 4 months or so, I actually haven't been usually eating breakfast. I've been waiting until I'm really hungry, which a lot of times is later in the morning, around 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And then I can, like today, I had a big salad followed by a bowl of vegetable soup. But whatever veggies you like, maybe just fix them a different way. In the summertime, I like raw veggies as opposed to cooked veggies. I just like that cool and the crunch of the raw veggies. I do like this time of year to make ratatouille. AJ actually has a video on that where you just take whatever vegetables you have. It can be eggplant, mushrooms, red onions, bell peppers, zucchini. Just cut them all up, put them on a baking tray, a rimmed baking tray so the juices don't overflow, and pop those into a 425 degree oven and roast them until they're all nice and tender. And those will store in the refrigerator for several days, and you can season them up if you want with no salt seasonings, and they're delicious. So maybe that's an idea for you. Or I don't tend to like mono meals where it's all one vegetable. Like I'm not going to eat a whole pound of steamed kale. That just doesn't appeal to me. But I might mix kale with a little bit of broccoli or sugar snap peas and some shredded carrots or something like that, and make a mixture and just steam it and have that. So maybe that'll help Diane. Jennifer wanted to know if eating the Ultimate Weight Loss diet has helped my hypothyroidism, and do I avoid any vegetables because of the thyroid issue? I don't believe that it hasn't made any difference in the amount of medication that I need. I'm on the smallest dose of levothyroxine that you can take, and I just had my blood work done, and I don't need to make any changes. So it didn't make any change for me in the amount of medication that I need to take. And then I don't avoid any of the cruciferous vegetables. I know some of the websites do tout that you should, but I don't. The only thing that I don't have is gluten. And there's plenty of the plant-based doctors and regular doctors that do feel that gluten is a problem with people who have thyroid issues. So I do adhere to a gluten-free diet. Jem is in her 50s and she's having a difficult time dealing with excessive weight around her waist since turning 50. Well, I can relate to that because I think that happens a lot after menopause, but I'm not a doctor. And so that would be maybe something good that you should take up with your primary care physician at your next appointment. I do know, though, when I became hypothyroid, that that was one of my symptoms is I started gaining weight around the abdominal area. So maybe have that discussion with your doctor, Jim. Kathy wanted to know if this way of eating has helped me with my chronic pain. That's a really, I've pondered about that, Kathy. Since I had the chronic pain after going plant-based, whole food plant-based, I can't really say, but I can tell you this, that the SOS-free whole food plant-based diet has helped me maintain composure, being level-headed. I think it's helped me maintain a positive mood, even though I've been dealing with the chronic pain issues. So I guess in that regard, it has helped, because I think if I hadn't been on a whole food plant-based diet, that I would have gained back all of my weight that I had lost this past year. Just, the frustration and the emotional toil that having chronic pain takes on you. I do think that I would have, tried to eat the pain away. And so in that regard, I think that eating such a healthy diet has helped. And certainly a whole food plant-based diet that's SOS free. Excuse me, I've got to grab a tissue. I woke up this morning with a sore throat and a runny nose. So anyway, sorry about that. I think that it's helped me stay calm, make good decisions. I think, just having that even brain chemistry from not eating junk food has been helpful. It's an anti-inflammatory diet. And so I'm sure that that has probably helped me greatly. And Kim is on. She's from Oklahoma. Hi, Kim. Glad you're here watching. Oh, somebody wants me to describe what I eat in a typical day. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, it's different every day. If you go to my blog, nutmegnotebook.com, you'll see that I batch cook. So once a week, I'll make a big batch of oven roasted sweet potatoes, different kinds, Japanese sweet potatoes, Hana yams, whatever they have at the store. And then I'll also do a tray of Yukon Gold potatoes. My husband, Tom, will make up a big batch of brown rice. And then I buy pre-made salad greens, and I'll make beans. I usually do my beans in the slow cooker. We just like how they taste. I know a lot of people use the Instant Pot pressure cooker, but we really like how they come out of the slow cooker. I'll make soup, stew, chili, whatever, maybe taco lentils, that kind of thing. So then we have those things to draw from throughout the week. So if we're out all day and get home and are starving, we can pull together a meal really quickly. So recently, I haven't been eating breakfast, and so I wait until I'm hungry, whether that's 11 or 12 or 1, have a salad, vegetables, soup over a potato, or soup over rice or chili, just depends on what we have in the fridge. For the evening meal, we call it a nourish bowl. We'll take beans, black beans or pinto beans, whatever we have, whatever I've cooked. And we don't always have home cooked. We use canned beans that I'll just rinse also. We'll put those in a bowl with rice or rice and potatoes, and then we'll steam up a bunch of greens. I'll buy the power greens at Costco, or already chopped cruciferous crunch from Trader Joe's. and maybe add, Brussels sprouts or carrots or, different things to it. And we'll just steam that in a scan pan on the top of the stove. And I like to add balsamic vinegar over the top of mine. We'll just put it all in a bowl. We'll have that. We might have a great big salad. I have a video called How to Make My Big Beautiful Salad. We'll have a great big salad with 3 different kinds of beans on it, with my creamy balsamic dressing that's also salt, oil, and sugar-free. And that'll be a meal. Or sometimes I'll make a lentil loaf, or we might have beans and frozen corn over a baked potato with Donna's vegan cheese sauce, and that recipe is on my blog. And that's super filling and easy. And I do make a lot of soups, stews, and chilies in the pressure cooker or the slow cooker, and we'll have that. So it just depends on how hungry I am and how active I have been. But we eat a lot of greens. We eat a lot of salads. I munch on a lot of raw vegetables just because, that's what I happen to like. I think they're delicious and crunchy, and we'll have some fruit, eat a lot more fruit in the summertime than I do in the winter, just because, fresh watermelon and strawberries and that kind of thing are so amazing in the summer. Although we do have wonderful farmers markets here in California year round, I just seem to eat more fruit in the summer than I do this time. I'm just going to check the comments here. Oh, Kim also wanted to know what are some of my favorite recipes. Well, a lot of my favorite recipes are Chef AJ's recipes. Her red lentil chili, I love. The mushroom chili, the taco lentils are really amazing. So the recipes that are in the Ultimate Weight Loss 21-day food plan, we eat a lot of those, and you get that when you join the group. So we eat a lot of those. We also really like the black and red lentil chili from Fat Free Vegan Kitchen blog. That's fantastic. And then one of my favorite cookbooks is the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease cookbook by the Esselstyns. And we love the refried beans, the sofritas, Mike's sofritas beans that are in here. And I make those quite a bit. My daughter makes those quite a bit. And this is one of my favorite cookbooks. It has incredible recipes that are super easy. Use normal ingredients that you'll find around home. And everybody loves them. So also, if you go to my blog, nutmegnotebook.com, I have quite a few recipes on there for the plant-based, whole food plant-based lifestyle. And you can look at those. And, it just depends on what your family likes. We love Mexican food, so you can make enchiladas, you can make enchilada casseroles. Everybody likes beans and rice, so we eat that a lot. I hope that helps. I'm trying to think. It's hard to think on the spot. Now I have a great appreciation for Chef AJ for doing these live Facebook Lives, because it's really hard to think so fast on your feet. So, how do I steam in the Scan Pan? Karen wants to know. Okay, so the Scan Pan is a brand of cookware that is non-stick, but it's not Teflon. If Tom was in here, he could tell you what it's made of, because I'm not techie like that. But so what I do is you can add a little bit of water to the pan when you're heating it up, maybe, a couple teaspoons or so, but it just depends on how much water in the vegetables that you're going to cook, whether you'll need it or not. But I'll just put my vegetables in there. I'll have the heat set down a little bit low because I don't want things to scorch, and I'll put the lid on. And just having the lid on there, the vegetables will steam in there with the lid on, and you'll see the steam build up on the inside of the lid. And then I'll just open it and give it a little stir, and it just takes a few minutes, and they won't stick and you don't lose a lot of nutrients in water. And then we just take them out of the scan pan and put them in our bowls. And I also will do that just for, from vegetables for breakfast. If I'm just eating vegetables, we do that for our Nourish bowls, but we'll also just do it for the breakfast vegetables, because then they're not all watery. And I like them to be cooked, but not mushy. So that works out really well for me. Kim says that she really liked my video on the salad. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think I have to refresh my page. Okay. It looks like that's all the questions for today. So if you guys have any ideas for videos that you'd like for me to do in the upcoming year, or you have any questions, you can leave me a comment here on the Facebook page, or you can send me an email to Tami@nutmegnotebook.com. And I hope to do more Facebook Lives and more videos this coming year. And my wish for you is that you would have a year full of joy, love, laughter, and good health. Goodbye, everyone.